And some of you may know me as the wife of Nathan. So I am also the founder and CEO of a company called Allura Agency. And this is an agency that is dedicated to the medical aesthetic industry. So we're very niched. And we do all marketing, a done-for-you marketing approach combined with business coaching. The entire team comes from the industry, and I feel like this is very important because when I've done my market research, the number one thing I hear when clinics have worked with a marketing agency and it hasn't worked is that the people they hired didn't understand the industry. And it's so important, especially in the position of marketing, to really understand the ins and outs of how that's working, to really resonate with the audience, to actually bring them into the clinic as a client to make sales. So I've integrated all of my experience to really calibrate unique programs that are going to help increase revenue, get all your staff booked, and elevate your online presence. So I come from a background where I've worked in medical aesthetic devices. I've worked for the top skincare companies. I've worked in a clinic as a clinic manager, and then of course, working in the marketing scope. So combining all these different facets of the industry, I've been able to have a unique perspective to really understand how we can position ourselves to stand out in the market and make more money. But before I get into that, I think it's more important to really just explain who I am, because if I were someone and I was thinking of who I want to work with, company A or company B, I would want to know the person behind the business, because this is really going to determine how the partnership is and what that looks like, what they're going to offer, right? Because that's really what the brand represents. So I am someone who has always been a go-getter, perseverance, and the number one thing about me is that I take action and I make things happen. I'm very determined. Nathan may say I'm a little bullheaded. He is too. But I really don't think there's anything that we cannot do. That's not a belief in my system. And I bring that to my whole goal with a client is to hear what are your dreams and aspirations with your company, which is like your baby. Like, it's so important. And I get that. What is it that you want to do? Where do you want to take it? And I'm going to tell you, okay, so this is how I would do it based off my experience. And we have my entire team to back me as well. Sorry, I keep hitting this. So a little bit more about me. So I have a 14-year-old son, and I had him when I was 20 years old. So I was a really young mom. And, with that came its challenges, but it also really built my character and who I am and why I've been able to do what I've been able to do. So I share that because I bring that to my clients. There's not going to be a problem too big. We will get through it. That's what's built in me. That's what's built in the company. And I think that's important for you to know. So I had my son when I was 20. I had to do a lot of different things to get ready for bringing a child into this world. I had a lot of big dreams and aspirations, but something that always stuck with me, and I want to share this with you because it's really also a part of the foundation of the company and what I represent, is really we can make anything happen as long as we don't let ourselves get in the way. And what I mean by that is when I found out I was pregnant at 19 years old, I remember sitting in the doctor's office so scared and talking to him and being like, oh my gosh, I was just about to apply to these universities and I had all these big plans. At that time I wanted to go into med school and all this stuff. He was like, well, why can't you? What's stopping you? And that line will stick with me throughout my entire life. What is stopping you? Nothing, right? Nothing's stopping us. The only thing that's stopping us from anything in this world is ourselves. So I made it that moment in time that I was never going to let something stop me from doing what I wanted to do. So that's exactly what I did. Throughout those years, I accomplished a lot. I did 7 years of schooling. So I got my full degree. I got a 3-year college diploma. I got my real estate license. I did this all while doing a full-time course load. Sometimes I am honestly crazy. Like sometimes I somehow did a course load and a half plus a full-time career. Plus I was a single mom. So, I did it in creative ways where I could do like as many online courses as I could. And like somehow for the ones I couldn't do online, like I would show up for the exams and still get, a good grade. I had to think outside the box and be creative with it and really work hard, but I still accomplished everything plus more. So I wanted to share that with you because that's who I am and that's what I bring to the company and to our working relationship. We will work so hard for you to make things happen. And this company, it's really a lot of me. It's a very soul-fulfilled company. Like I live, eat, and breathe it. And I really, really care about our clients like you guys are family. So that brings me into sharing a little bit about some of the accomplishments that we've had with the company and like some success stories. So when I moved from Toronto to Vancouver 5 years ago, I started working for a clinic. This is in the middle of COVID. This clinic was struggling to even stay alive. I started working as a clinic manager, but also had this natural knack for marketing. I was always like, it was a running joke with me and my friends. Like, there was like, you're the most active person on Instagram. Like, it was just fun. I just enjoyed it. But I had that natural knack, which I was able to transmit into a really powerful resource for businesses to make more money and get their name out there. So I started doing the marketing, and within 3 months, the revenue doubled. And then we had a really successful event where they brought in, it was like $25,000 that one day. But this was in the middle of COVID where, you guys know, there's challenges, there's struggles, people are spending less money. But we simply did this by small changes, getting them, getting a buzz around their Instagram. They had reps coming in, clients coming in, being like, oh my gosh, like you're booming now and all these exciting things. And then with the event, it was about changing the way that they were talking to their clients. Because what can often happen is you can have great marketing, but you're not closing them. You're not getting people through the door. So that's where we just need to tweak some of the strategic wording that we're doing when we're communicating to people at that last stage. So I coached them on that. And it was really just about storytelling and bringing passion and real life experiences into these treatment packages that they were wanting to sell. And boom, we were having like a 90% success rate with closing packages that were a multi-$1,000s. So very successful. And this is just an example of where my company started. This is why it started. And this is the success that we can bring to someone. Now, one more story I want to share, because this is one that's really near and dear to my heart, is a story with a physician who, he's in the US. He's very well known, very like prestigious, and he was an inspiration to me. He's extremely busy. But again, knowing now that you kind of know a little bit about me and where I come from, I was not going to let that get in my way. I always go for things. So I reached out to him. Long story short, one thing led to another. I got his attention because I knew what his brand was. And because I'm creative, I was able to create content out of limited resources to catch his attention that I knew he would like. This led to him actually flying me out to where he's located and doing a 3-day working interview where I actually interviewed every single one of his staff members. There is like 12 of them, having meetings with him to really understand where were the challenges and where the bottlenecks were in his business, and really just getting a good idea of how things were run in the clinic and what I could do to make a change. So after the 3 days, I provided like a full business report, basically, with some suggested strategies to implement to really not only overcome these challenges, but surpass. And on top of that, because I always get these creative, exciting ideas, I proposed like a side project, which I felt could bring him a lot of money. So that ended with, this is something I'm very proud of, and I don't normally share money, but I'm sharing this as kind of an inspiration to like go for things, because you never know what's going to happen. Scared, it stops you. You don't even get the opportunity to go for things. So if I had not reached out to this doctor, this wouldn't have happened. But in one thing led to another, I had a job offer for almost under $500,000 per year, which is a lot of money and was a very exciting opportunity for me. At the end of the day, I did not accept it because I did not want to move my family to another country. But it is something that I'm really proud of because I made that happen and I provided enough value to make that happen. Now, to just carry on from that story, the side project that I came up with for him, he did implement. And he also did implement the business-led report that I came up with for different things that he changed in the clinic flow, which had a positive impact. But this side project now makes him over hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. So that's something else that I'm really excited about. This is an example of exactly what I do. I am someone who will go into your business, and sometimes it takes a coach or, the other company to really believe in you more than you believe in yourself. That's sometimes where we're at. Sometimes we're so stressed and overwhelmed in our business that there's an opportunity cost. When you are overwhelmed and overworked, you have an opportunity cost, and that creative side of you gets dimmed a little bit. Or sometimes you just need someone there on your team who believes in you, who's like, let's do this, who's coming out with ideas, like it's a partnership. And that's what I bring. So Allure Agency is a marketing company for the aesthetic industry. We have a team, everyone specializes, we all come from the field, and we incorporate the business coaching into all of our packages because I really feel like when we look at a business, it's a 360 approach. It's not just the marketing. It's not just making something look pretty. It's strategy. It's coaching. It's looking at packages, pricing. How do we bundle? It's looking at, are you incentivizing staff? Should you be incentivizing staff? It's looking at events. How do we successfully have an event that's going to bring 25 to 100K on that one day? There's so many things that we can look at, and every business is unique. So we have a unique plan for each business. But that's it in a nutshell. So thank you so much for listening today, guys. And I'm here if you have any questions. Also, for everyone who's here today, I do have a little special offer for you. So if you are interested, please reach out. Thank you.